Hey, it's Michael, and I am selling my soul to the YouTube gods and doing it for the algorithm to talk about Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley 2, aka the day MMA died, aka Tyron Woodley getting knocked the you know what out by Jake Paul. And as much as we like to joke and make memes about it, I want to say two things. One, it takes a special person to get in the ring and put their pride on the line, only to come out a loser. And so you have to give Tyron Woodley his respect. Not only is Tyron a man amongst men by stepping in there, but this is a man who was at one point the best welterweight in the world in the UFC. So for him, I want to just say I still respect him as a fighter. But two, and more importantly, Jake Paul can actually box. Now, don't get me wrong. It was a boring fight and definitely not one of those classics you're going to see on ESPN for years to come. But I think it's time to talk about why Jake Paul might be better than we actually think. And I want to show why exactly I think we got to stop disrespecting Jake Paul's name and thinking that he's just a YouTuber bratty kid. Now, when it comes to Jake Paul, we know that his big combo is the jab to the overhand right. This is how he got Nate Robinson. This is how he got Ben Askren. And this is basically how he got Tyron Woodley. But here's the thing. For about one fight and some change, Tyron Woodley has defended this overhand right responsibly, either by taking it on the hands or just taking that overhand right outright and rolling with it. But he didn't in this one instance. And what happened? Well, Tyron Woodley dropped his hand and caught the punch flush. And honestly, I spent a lot of time figuring out why that could be the case. Why would Tyron Woodley drop his hand? Especially when from day one you are taught not to drop your hands to defend the body shot. I think there's a reason to this. I think Jake Paul conditioned Tyron Woodley to drop his hand. Let me show you why. Throughout the fight, Tyron Woodley was getting really frustrated with Jake Paul dipping into the clinch. So what Jake Paul would do is jab and then initiate a sequence where they're chest to chest or they're really close and then a clinch would happen. So Tyron Woodley developed a couple responses to that. One was actually to try to be the lower man. So a lot of times Tyron Woodley would dip and that's when that accidental elbow would happen. Also, I just gotta say, it wasn't just the accidental elbow. Sometimes there were accidental headbutts and they were accidental. And two, Tyron Woodley would actually try to catch Jake Paul, intercepting him whenever Jake Paul would dip and jab to the body with either a check left hook or a follow-up uppercut if that were to miss. But Jake was actually catching wise to this. And what he would do is he would sometimes go jab cross to the body. There was an instance where he actually went jab uppercut upstairs. Other things to get Tyron Woodley more comfortable in doing this, which by the way is not really the most optimal combo you should do if you want to defend that overhand right coming over the top. All that to say is, this is my theory as to why I think Tyron Woodley really goofed up here and lowered his hand. In my opinion, I don't think he was actually trying to be defensive. I think he was trying to be offensive. But admittedly, that might be a stretch, as Tyron Woodley's hand did go downward, as into parry. But I still think that maybe, just maybe, Tyron Woodley for a split second thought he could catch him with a check left hook. Or maybe Tyron Woodley just had a brain fart. Those things happen. We all make mistakes in life just because, and fighting is no exception. It's just that in fighting, it's grave consequences for making mistakes. Now, all in all, like I said, not the best fight, but I think it did show that Jake Paul can, one, deal with the adversity of being cut, and two, he might be a better boxer than we have given him credit for. He's only getting better, so maybe a step up in competition is necessary for the one they call the problem child. Anyway, that's the breakdown. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Michael, and I'll see you soon.